Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's all about the Niger Delta and, of course, the threat for a renewed attack in that region. From what these new militant groups are saying, they are talking about 13% derivation that it should be given to the state governors, because according to them, they alleged that the state governors, they've disappointed the region in terms of development. That the 13% derivation should be given directly to the communities that are affected by exploration of natural resources. People are now asking, who are the direct link? Is it not smart for persons to go through the governors to reach out to these people, to these persons? If they don't want to go direct, who are they going to give it to? Individuals, the kings, the kingmakers, the chiefs? Anyway, that is what we're going to talk about today. With me here in the studio to talk about this, I have a legal practitioner, Barrister Austin Temofe. Barrister, welcome to TMI Sunday's edition.
It's my pleasure.
I appreciate your coming.
It's my pleasure.
And of course, sitting very close to him is Don Iyega, Niger Delta. I want to call him representative because he's there from that area, and I believe that he's going to throw more light on this. Don, welcome to TMI Sunday's edition.
Good morning.
It's been a while. A long, it's like 2-3 years ago now. Yes. All right, now since you are from there, I'm going to start off with you.
All right.
What do you think about this threat?
I don't think it's a threat, it's a demand.
It's a demand?
Yes.
Okay.
The demands are very clear. Before the advent of the Niger Delta Avengers, even before the pipeline destruction in the Niger Delta, sometime 2016, there were commitments, agreements reached by those in creeks, our elites in Niger Delta, and also the government. That was why a team led by our leader, Chief E.K. Calbro Clark, who championed the creation of PANDEF, led the delegation to see Mr. President in 2016. And before then, the then Minister of State Petroleum, Ibe Kachiku, pleaded with those that mediate, which I am one of them, that there should be a ceasefire for just 6 months.
6 months?
Yes. 21 days we gave to him, said, please, we make sure that there is ceasefire in every attack on oil facilities. We stick our necks, cut across the Niger Delta, from Ondo, Delta, Edo, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Rivers, even as far end as the other fringe of the Niger Delta, which is Cross River State. People were moped up to do this mediating. Governors were involved. Facts findings were made, and saw that everything that concerns the oil exploration communities were all degraded. Destruction of aquatic lives and human resources were nothing to write home about. That was what metamorphosed to the attacks on oil facilities. After the ceasefire, agendas were presented, templates were presented to the federal government. And that is where the PANDEF now gave the government the 16-point agenda that they should look critically into the challenges that are faced by the Niger Delta people. The government in its own light say, well, they even added 21 agenda, which I'm a part of. And being somebody who is conversant with the system, who is part and parcel of this, the government disappointed on their own side. A part of the bargain, they failed. I'm talking about the federal government. They failed woefully.
In the agreement?
In the agreement. What do we have to do? We kept mute. Some of us even threatened us that we have taken bribes. We've taken side with the federal government. Our elites were insulted. A lot of persons were threatened. Our lives were even at stake. But what do we have to do? We have to keep mute and watch what is going to happen. Good thing the PIB, Petroleum Industrial Bill, came up. They also came up with fact-finding, public hearing, and the rest of it all. And later on, it now snowballs to demanding of 10% from that PIBB in the oil exploration, especially the gas component of the oil. 10% should be paid directly to the oil and gas producing company. But when we look at the derivation gotten from the oil exploration in Niger Delta, right from the inception, from our own calculation, it's amount to about 17 trillion naira. That's
17 trillion.
Yes, that is alarming. That is why I think these other groups are resurfacing. That in the bloods of the agitators of the Niger Delta, the Ministry of Niger Delta was created. It has nothing to write home about. It has now been cowed. You talk about the amnesty program in the Niger Delta, it is now a jamboree, a profit-making venture. Instead of the 30,000 ex-agitators that drops arms and ammunition to be properly, the decommissioning, the demobilization and the reintegration proper was not captured, was not taken. And so these guys felt that all the money that is being projected in Niger Delta are going to private pockets. They should be accounted for. In particularly 13% derivation. That is why they come up and said, I was even surprised, and it's not a surprising thing to me, that these demands are now on the line.
Okay, now you just hold on. I will come back to you, John. Well, Barrister Timothy, you heard him. He talked about the agreement that was breached. According to him, the federal government failed on their own part in honoring the agreement. And of course, they are saying that this money earmarked for the region is entering into private pockets. Hence, they are demanding for it, or they're going to resume hostilities. What do you feel about all this?
Very frankly, I cannot agree with him any less, because we appear to be on the same boat. The truth of the matter is that the hues and cries of the people of the Niger Delta definitely is not being felt at the center. Now, they hear it, but they are not feeling it. And I say this with every sense of responsibility, bearing in mind that the people of the Niger Delta has been seriously marginalized. They have been seriously, marginalized to the point that they downed their tools, their weapons of war. You made your promises. The young men left the street. You undertook to train some of them. Well, as a matter of fact, you have even reneged on that. The stipends you promised to be given to them, you are not. The point here, sir, is that the Niger Delta people, are a set of people whose interest government ought to take, very paramount. Because Nigeria is a mono economy. The source of our income is from the Niger Delta, as it were. These people don't have anything to write home about. So you promised 13% derivation. You promised to be giving them that amount of money. The money is not forthcoming. It's not forthcoming. So of the truth, I agree that the money is going into private pockets. Now we have a minister of Niger Delta in the person of Godswill Akpabio, who is there doing nothing.
Are you sure he's doing nothing?
Absolutely.
Because right now he is crying there's no money right now, that is should infuse money for them to carry on with their jobs.
That's it. That's it. So all the oil, crude oil that is being exported, where's the money going into? Where is the money going into? If these people are not feeling the impact of government, it shows that somewhere, somehow, some people are sitting, they are sitting on the funds that should get to these people. So their threat is good if they can make good their threat. As far as I'm concerned, I'm in Nigeria. Because what touches one should touch all. I'm affected too. You can't be milking them dry, and at the end of the day, you leave them to go to dwell in limbo, suffering. So I understand that the Niger Delta youths have decided that, they are going to hit some places. Government should at this time sit up and do the needful to avoid that kind of, but who knows? It appears to me that this government is not even, on the same page with the people.
All right, I will come back to you, Barrister. Now, let's focus on the 13% derivation, which are saying that they allege that it's going to private pockets, and they say it should be given directly to the communities through what means done.
Well, I don't advocate for funds to be given to an individual. because they are considered authorities in managing the 13% derivation.
But that's what they are saying right now.
Well, they have to say that because some of the governors in the Niger Delta, they are using that money to develop their private pocket, their own firm. They are enriching themselves with the 13% derivation that is coming from the federal government. This is our money. It's our right.
Oh, so what? So hold on. Yes. Sorry for interjecting. Now, from what you're saying, the federal government is actually giving out the money.
They are giving money.
Okay.
The 13% derivation is that is accrued to the Niger Delta on each of the states, the producing oil and gas.
Yes.
Is coming directly to the governors. You understand what I'm saying? And it's an aberration. It's supposed not to be like that. There should be a commission formed to manage that money, that money should be paid directly to the oil and gas producing community. Because when you go to the Federal Fiscal Federation Commission there, yes, in Abuja, if you look at the law, the act that is there, that money is not supposed to be given to the governors. Any governor can come up from the Niger Delta and challenge me. I've seen the documents. But in managing that fund, the government deemed it fit that let them manage those funds because they want what is called decorum. They don't want things to happen to the fund. So they want to manage it for the oil and gas producing community. But they take it as an advantage. So the governors in the Niger Delta even fail to come up with a commission, just like the SOPADEC, and the SOPADEC that is being formed by governors to take responsibility of. And that money that is even given to the oil and gas producing community for their development is supposed to be 100%. It's not supposed to be cut, say 50% or 40%, because there is a monthly allocation coming directly to the government of each state to manage the state resources. So if you are taking from that 30%, add it to your own state allocation, it's an aberration. It's against the ethics and it's against the law that established that fact. And if a governor put in place mechanism on how to, because we were there during Obasanjo's era when hostilities were really in full scale. Obasanjo called most of us, people who are from the region, represented by ex-agitators. We went to Abuja, we spoke with him and said, this money that you are giving all of the bucks to the government of the governors of the state, please do something about it. That was why he said all governors, by then Lucky Benina was the governor of Edo State, they said go and form a commission. It was when Osaremo Sumbo came on board that he actually put up that commission in Edo State, followed by Delta State governor and also Ondo State governor. But the rest governors of Akwa Ibom, Rivers and all that, they failed to put up this commission because they have interior motive. That is why the agitators are now saying that that money that you people are tampering with, it's not your money, it's not meant for the state, it's meant for the oil and gas producing communities in all the states of the Niger Delta. And a separate commission should have been, earmarked, and a commission should have been instituted like a separate board to manage that fund, so that the money, the people will feel the impact of whatever derivation is taken from their land. So that is why those men are coming up with those demands. And I don't blame them, because we have been crying, we have been writing documents, all oil producing communities, people, especially the ones from Oben, the ones from Okpoboka, Oriomo, Ikpoboka, and Oviano East, we have been coming up with series of meetings, series of paperwork that please, what you people are giving to us as oil and gas producing communities is not enough. Right. We can see the dwindling economy today. And the Northerners feel that, yes, they are giving much to the Niger Delta. That is why, because they say the Niger Delta governors or the rest of them, they fail to manage this money properly. That is why we are still in this abject problem. They have a point there.
They have a point?
Yes, they have a point there.
Okay.
I have to tell you the truth. I have to be factual. They have a point there. They are saying that you people should wake up and tell, but anyone that is laying the golden eggs, nothing is too much for the person.
I will come back to you on that.
Nothing is too much for
I'll come back to it. Now, you see, the federal government on this 30% derivation, they've not defaulted, because according to him, they are giving it to the state governors to form this committee that will take care of this region. And you've heard him also, he talked about some of the governors not doing what they ought to do. Does it not mean that the ball is not in the court of the federal government, knowing fully well that they've been giving money to this region and what he rightly said is not being utilized for what it ought to be used for?
On this, I beg to differ because I am very, very certain, I'm persuaded, I'm convinced that the federal government is not giving that amount of money to the governors.
But he said they are, because he's there, he's inside. He's been giving to these
all
people.
Insiders. I'm also from Niger Delta.
Yes.
There has to be clear evidences. You just said that Akpabio came out to say there's no money. That speaks volume. The governor of this state came out recently to say that the federal government has been going and borrowing, to the point that recently they printed 50, 60 billion naira. Printed. So my take is that, and at the end of the day, when these monies are printed, what do? They share between the states to run the states, not for the derivation. Now, the point I seek to make very clearly here is that the federal government, you know, the buck is on the table of the federal government. They have not come out for once to say that we have been giving you people this money. Akpabio came out to say...
hold on now, this way, sorry for interjecting. Don't forget about the issue of the Niger Delta Development Commission, where billions were not accounted for.
Fine.
Is that the fault of the federal government?
No. As far as that is concerned.
Yes.
Now, if anybody is found culpable, the law has to take its course. Now, if the government... There was a time that even the minister of the Niger Delta faced the Senate. And then he was trying to say things about money. They swept it under the carpet. He was never indicted because they knew what the man was saying. The point is that they give the impression that these monies are there, whereas at the end of the day, they are located, the money goes back, obviously. Because you are talking... When the governor of this state came out to say, look, there's no money. And people outside are saying, Governor, since we re-elected you, you are doing nothing. This man came out to say, look, these funds are not there. Let me tell you people the truth. Now, my position on all of this is that the federal government, you know, knows exactly, nobody's indicted, nobody is punished. Everybody is just taking take the citizens for a ride, particularly the citizens of the Niger Delta, the oil-producing Niger Delta. Nothing at all. So we can go on and on arguing about this thing, but I will tell you that nobody is going to come out to tell you that, look, the money is with this governor or the money was given to governors. The money is not there. I trust the governor of this state to the point that if monies were given, he would have used it for the purpose.
Don, over to you. He said the money isn't there.
My brother.
Yes.
Let's call a spade a spade. If you look at the federal government allocation every month, you will know that the 13% derivation, if it's not even coming, there will be no need for the Avengers to issue that threat.
So they know it's coming?
Yes, because before they issue that threat, they have made fact, they have found so lot of things. The problem of Niger Delta are our elites. They compromise with government, they compromise with the center to pocket our money. There are a lot of reforms made back to the center. They do divide, kill and divide. Well, if not, people from anything, when they were doing this forensic audit,
yes,
how can somebody, our brother from Bayelsa State, Pondi, they're asking to come and account for the money that is accrued, even this COVID-19 issue, palliative. If pretend that he's dying, he fainted, why is it that every one of them will continue to faint? Because they are stealing our money.
That is it.
I said this thing, I said, there will be a time where this old problem, we will now use the gun to face our own people.
No, all right.
Listen to me, please.
We don't pray should get to that. We don't pray should get to that. Calm down.
No, it's gathered generate to that.
Calm down.
Because we hold our elites responsible. We will hold them liable for mismanaging our fund that is equal to the Niger Delta. Look at, let me give you a set example now. Understand what I'm saying now? Akpabio that is saying that there's no money. That is a blunt lie. You can't say there's no money. They know what they are doing.
But are you there, the ministry, to find out if there is money or not?
There is money. You cannot say somebody will constitute a ministry. Why is the Ministry of Niger Delta, why is NEDC under the Ministry of Niger Delta? By the NEDC Act, the NEDC is supposed to be an independent intervention agency of its own. Because they are doing shady deals. That is why they want the NEDC to be under the Ministry of Niger Delta. Under normal circumstances, they are supposed to be an interim management in NEDC. Why have they not constituted the subordinate board of NEDC to take over the steps of NEDC, whereby commissioners from various states in the Niger Delta that represent oil and gas should represent their states? Why are they delaying this thing? Is it not because they have shady deals and they have skeleton in their cupboards? And not only that one, if you talk about the Ministry of Niger Delta, it's as good as dead, because the purpose at which the Ministry of Niger Delta was created is no more viable.
That is it.
They are working with the elites from the north. Even in the petroleum industry, if you talk about the Ministry of Petroleum, what are they doing? What are they offering? The Petroleum Development Trust Fund that was specially made for the Niger Delta. How many Niger Delta indigenous or sons and daughters have been empowered from the Petroleum Development Trust Fund? Nothing. And now they are trying to kill the amnesty office. They will not do that, because we will make sure that we take the bull by the horn if they try to truncate an amnesty program. It's not going to be possible.
All right.
So what I'm saying is that the money is coming. For instance, our senators, House of Rep members, legislators, they are mute because they are afraid to talk. Why are you afraid to talk what is coming from your region? Why are you not bold enough to confront the center and say, this thing that is coming from my region, this is how my people feel about this thing. Release this thing for us to develop ourselves. If of a truth that this money is not coming. So they are all part and parcel of the crime that is against the Niger Delta region. Our people.
Absolutely.
You heard him.
Absolutely.
He said he sees that the money is coming, that there's a collusion somewhere, and the people are the one bearing the brunt. Barrister.
No, my point remains very valid. If the money is coming, there must be a reference point. There must be a document. Now, you have ministries. You have a Ministry of Niger Delta, under which you have the NDDC. Now, none of these have come out to say that we have money and the money is being disbursed as directed. You know, and the minister in charge has come out to say publicly that there's no money. Perhaps he just does not want to point fingers, but he's letting the people of the Niger Delta to have this understanding that, look, oh, nothing is happening here. The truth of the matter is that, even at the risk of, you know, getting myself indicted, the north of this country, they appear to be wiser than the south. I'm saying it with every sense of responsibility. They know what's happening. I can tell you that down there, they know what would become of the Niger Delta in the next couple of years. Whereas the people of Niger Delta, they don't even know. It's not only the Niger Delta Avengers that are there. You have the Supreme Egbesu Liberation Fighters. You have more than 10 Niger Delta, you know, groups, militant groups.
This is a coalition.
Well,
it's a coalition.
Oh, you mean they're all coming together?
Okay, they're coming up as Niger Delta Avengers.
It's a coalition.
Okay, but I know that there's also a reformed Niger Delta Avengers. You know, a reformed one. The truth, sir, is that the issue of the Niger Delta is so protracted that I am persuaded that the leadership of this country is not even interested in the Niger Delta or their welfare. They are only interested in what they can get.
Well, you just can't say that, because according to him, money is coming from the center. But from what he said, their own leaders, the leaders in the Niger Delta region, according to him, there seems to be the problem.
Well, they are part of the problem. He said so, that they are part of the problem. You know, it's a systemic thing. You know, there is a symbiotic relationship between the leadership and the political elites of the Niger Delta. There's a relationship, you know, by which, you know, when these funds come, they sit on it. You get and you ploy back. You take what's yours. And then the average man from the Niger Delta does not even feel the impact by any means. Go to Niger Delta and you will see no development. People are suffering, no good hospitals, no water to drink, fishes are dead, the farmland is polluted, everything about the Niger Delta, there's nothing right. Why do we then have a government? So if he says the money is coming, fine and good. Well, I am persuaded that we are saying one and the same thing. The money comes and goes back. You pocket your own. Nobody is indicted. Nobody is charged. Nobody is accused. The system is a vicious circle. A vicious circle of events. So that's the way I perceive this thing.
All right, now, John, going back to the creeks and, of course, bearing arms, do you think this will solve the problem?
Well, one thing the Nigerian state understand best is when you engage the government holistically. Because if you apply the means of dialogue and it don't work, what option do you have? Is it not to go back and use a plan B on them? That is it. Because I don't blame people when people, elites, come from various ethnic nationalities that form an entity called Pan-Niger Delta Forum that represent the region, just like the Afenifere, the Ohanize, and the Arewa Constitution Forum. These persons came, met with the president, and agendas, bullet points were given to him for him to address. Right up till now, I think the only thing that they have achieved so far is the Maritime University at Okerenko. Imagine that kind of, it's an insult on the Niger Delta region as far as I'm concerned. That means we don't have a say of what is coming out from our own region that is even running the economy of this country. From this region, you pay the law enforcement from this region money, you buy arms and ammunition for the military men to engage the Boko Haram. The money that is coming from Niger Delta is what you use in running the economy of this country. And yet you are saying that you cannot pay attention to that region. Whereas if oil is found in the north, they will even advocate for the situation of this country. If oil is found
you don't know that. You don't know that. So let's not go into that aspect.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
But what is good for the goose should also be good for the gander. That is what I'm saying. If the government mean well for the Niger Delta region, somebody has given you a template to work with that will bring about lasting peace. You refuse to implement that template. That means you have your own interior motive, you have your own agenda. And also, the PANDEF advocate that there should be what is called, it's kind of trying to implement the 2014 confab. You refuse to implement it. That is a working document. And also they said there should be restructuring of this country.
That is it.
When you restructure this country,
yes,
everybody from their own region will say this is what they want, this is what they want, this is what they want. Today, this country is plunging even more than recession. People are pretending. People cannot take 3 square meals a day. The only thing that I believe that this government have achieved is increment of petroleum products. You increase it every day to the detriment of people. And whereas people are languishing, you cannot even get 3 square meals. Even to get 2 square meals a day is very difficult. Now you are now blaming our people. And our people, they keep mute because they are compromising with them. If they talk about Akpabio, I'm even angry in my spirit. Because Akpabio has his own agenda. He's not interested in the development of Niger Delta.
But you don't know that.
I know him.
You may know him, but you don't know him because it's not here.
He doesn't have the agenda.
For that reason, let's just shut because it's not into the
I know.
Let's leave
I know.
it at that.
Please, I will debate from it. I take exception from that statement.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for using that statement here.
All right.
One thing I want to tell each and every Niger Delta youths and the elites in Niger Delta is that tomorrow, if you go and compromise with other region to shortchange the mandate of your region, when you retire from that position, you are coming back to your region to come and see that dilapidated building.
All right.
So any opportunity you need to imply and you are given that opportunity, try and use it judiciously to the development of your people. That is my advice.
Okay.
And the legislators that are represented in Niger Delta, in that capacity, there should be a wake-up call.
Wake-up call.
Okay. Their counterparts are advocating for their people. If you look at the NNPC component, there is no Niger Delta person in the critical position of NNPC composition. It's an aberration. In fact, it's a slap on us. All the components, even the Police Service Commission, you look at the military component. When they see that Niger Delta person is the next person to even become the retiring immediately. Is that not? See,
where is Araba from? if I may
No,
ask?
Eraba is from the Niger Delta. Let me tell you something.
So
let me tell you something.
Right.
That
See, let me tell you something. Eraba, I know it's from the Niger Delta, but he's still under command. Somebody still tell him what and what to do.
All right, let's just leave it at that for now. We can over delve into this, but we're going to have the last line on this. He said, haven't tried all means. Nothing seems to be forthcoming. The best thing for them to do is to go back to the creeks and all that. But do you think it will all go well for the region if we go back to those dark years where you get to see disturbance, kidnapping, shootings in the Niger Delta region? Is it going to take us back 100 years back, or even underdeveloped the region?
It certainly will, but you must bear in mind that the government at the center has been acting a script. They've pretended through the years that they were working in the interest of the Niger Delta people, being the oil-producing region. Now, so far down the line, 5, 6 years now into this administration, nothing has been seen or felt in that regard. Now, the youths are saying, the Niger Delta youths are in their state of bitterness. They are saying, look, we have come with peace, you did not answer us. We have discussed with you, you did nothing to, you kept on posting us back and forth. Now we want to go. Let me tell you, it was Thomas Jefferson who said, when the people fear their government, there is tyranny. But when the government fears the people, there is liberty.
Exactly.
You understand? Now, my position is that this government just has to fear these people. Because look at what the Boko Haram people are doing down north. And then you arrest them, you take them to court, you set them free. You even give them palliatives, give them money to set up themselves. Those people have no business doing what they are doing. Because the truth of the matter is that the Niger Delta militants, to the best of my knowledge and understanding, they have a cause that they are fighting for. Whereas those ones down north, only God knows what they are fighting for.
All right.
So,
all right.
Conclusively, I believe, I am persuaded that unless the government answers these people from Niger Delta, the Avengers, as it were, then they have the right to go back to the creeks.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Okay, just 30 seconds, John, 30 seconds.
Well, my own is that he has said it. I think he felt the impact and feel the pain too. One thing I want to say is that the governors have failed us because one, the South Governors Forum, I don't see I have not seen the light of it anymore. The flare is no more there. The South Governors Forum, the flare is no more there. Let's forget about political affiliation, whether you come from any political party. But the pain of your region should be paramount.
All right.
That is my advice. And also, when we talk about the Nigerian Governors Forum, it has been, I don't know, it has been littered.
Thank you. It's okay. It's okay because right now you're filled with so much emotion right now. And I'll tell you to please watch your emotions, but you've heard them. You've heard them. The youths in that region, they are not happy.
At all.
Make do your promise. They are saying that you failed them. So you have to show them that you haven't failed by putting everything in place. Because we don't want a solution whereby they go back to the creeks. We're able to bring them out, they lay their arms, thinking that things will be done the way it ought to be done for the region. But they are saying that they're not feeling the impact. So what should be done? We don't want what is happening in the north to start happening in the Niger Delta region. To be one trouble too many. The north have their own issue. Now the east, they're having their own issues. The west having add Niger Delta problem to it. Come on. We don't want a cacophony, or will I say cataclysmic effect in our great nation. Please, people responsible, do something before these dudes go back to the creek. We don't want that. Call them, talk to them, appeal to them if need be, to prevent their threat for becoming a reality. Don, thank you so much for coming on today's show. I appreciate your coming. Barrister, thank you so much for coming on today's show. I appreciate your coming. Up next, printing of currencies, implications in our economy. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.